What happens when you mix Thor and Mithrala in Dragon 10? You get the ultimate two-man team. You get food, gear, and you get dungeon diver points. What's going on, everybody? Blazin here. Welcome back to the channel, and thanks for joining me on another Raid Shadow Legends video. All right, so Thor has, he's just, I'm gonna say, best fusion of 2024. We still have Christmas, but right now he's holding that to me. We got a Dragon Stage 10 hard mode two-man team, Thor and Mithrala. Two, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say free-to-play accessible champions.
Here he goes again.
I have to agree with him.
That if you do have them, you can start two-manning hard mode Dragon and get yourself some chickens along the way and try to double dip and triple dip to those points. Now, I will say, the build I have my Thor and my Mithrala in is kind of endgame. Remember, guys, it's Dragon 10 hard mode. They're the same builds that I use almost everywhere else, right? So let's go through the builds and then I'll show you guys the run. All right, let's start off with the king himself, Thor. Now, I currently have mine built with a lethal and perception and two-piece pinpoint. Now, you don't need to go for the same stats that I do. But if you can, if you're using them already as an arena nuker, you're probably pretty close to these anyways. All it really means, guys, is the runs might just take a little longer, 20-30 seconds longer, right? But stats wise for Dragon, right? And I do have some things in Dragon that are a little bit put in under my area bonuses. We got him built with 7.2k attack, 246 speed. Now you don't need him that high. 100% crit rate and 313 crit damage. Again, you don't need it that high. I do have 334 speed built into him, and that's because I want to make sure that we abuse his skill kit, right, with the decreased speed along with the Nature's Wrath. Now, as for skills, I don't have him fully booked yet. You're not going to need him fully booked. Does it help? Of course. Will it be needed? No. I've tested him out in Hydra, and yes, the books do give him slight damage boost, right? No, like a 20% or so, but it's not necessary. Nature's Wrath is what we did take, right? Pairing that with the decreased speed is kind of huge. As for masteries wise, I came down, I took Helm Smasher, I did take Kill Streak, I took Cycle of Violence, did take Whirlwind of Death along with Life Drinker, I did take Keen Strike with Heart of Glory and Deadly Precision. Now, as for the support tree, I did want to take Cycle of Magic. I want to try to refresh those A2s and A3s as much as possible. I did take Lord of Steel because I want to make sure I try to get that extra crit rate and the accuracy. I took Swarm Smiter along with Charge Focus and Pinpoint Accuracy. Let's talk Mithrala. Now, Mithrala, the thing with her, to solo the boss, you do need to have a high blessing. A 4-star will work. If you were lucky enough to get the 5-star soul from Mithrala, then you're good with this, right? Yes, we do have her built with an immortal in regen. Does she need it? I don't think so. The regen should do good enough, and if you can't do a regen and you want to do a bolster set instead, you could use that as well. The 2-piece stone skin is not needed. The accessories are actually what I have her built with for my arena build. As for stats wise for Dragon, we are currently looking at 96k HP, 4.8k defense. Now the defense is high. It just happened. I have my regen and immortal built set, right? That's a tongue twister there. But I have that built so I can use that on multiple champions. So I try to go, a little heavy on what's needed. 278 speed. We don't care about crit rate or crit damage. 454 resistance. That's enough to basically resist everything in game. And then 560 accuracy. You don't need that much, right? 350 is what we need. Booking situation for my Mithrala, I do have her fully booked, and Brimstone does wonders here, right? As for masteries, we went down the defense and the support tree. We did come down and we took Eagle Eye. Now, if you don't need Eagle Eye, if you have the accuracy, you can come down and take Oppressor. That's just going to make her more fast, right? You can also take Spirit Haste instead of Master Hexer. You can take Lord of Steel. You can go ahead and take Merciful Aid, Healing Savior, along with Swarm Smiter. You can take Shield Barrier. You can take Charge Focus along with Pinpoint Accuracy. Now, if you do not want to take Swarm Smiter, you can come down and take Arcane Celerity, or you could take Rapid Response, but I do suggest coming down and taking the Lore of Steel. You can skip it if you really want to and come down, Cycle of Magic and whatnot. There's coming down between the the tier 4, 5, and 6 masteries. There's a little bit of playroom depending on what you want to do and what you can use with the build. As for the defense side, we came down and we took Defiant along with Rejuvenation. We did take Resurgent along with Harvest Despair. I did take Retribution, and I did take Deterrence. All right, so there's going to be 2 ways to do this. You can do it with an AI setup, try to speed it up like 20-30 seconds. Basically, all you need to do here is turn off Mithrala's A2 when you get to the boss, not to put the Hex up, so then she only does the Strength and Shield, right? And then poisons. Do you need it? No, it's going to add like 20-30 seconds more, if that, but just running it this way works well enough. It really depends on what you want to do. I don't feel like, I mean, that was a hell of a hit from Thor. That was a damn hell of a hit from Thor. Holy. But because we have the food in here and we're, you know, making sure that they're not basically taking a turn, some of the ads may take a turn. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But again, back to, you know, should you turn off the A2 or not? It really depends on what you want to do. If you want to just load up RSL Helper, throw up some food, and try to get as much as you can out of it, then I would just say don't turn it off, leave it as is, and then just kind of let it go, right? If you decide that that's not the way for you and you want to use it while leveling up, you know, 3 stars and 4 stars to max, then hey, leave it on, get yourself a couple of extra runs. The ads are what take the longest time, but Thor just smashes right through them. You could take a different blessing for Thor to make it a little faster, but it is what it is. So here, again, remember, we have everything turned off. So once Thor dies, this becomes a lot easier for us. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to, you know, resist the stun, but there we go. So it's just poisons and cleanses. That's it. We're at a minute 25. Usually this comes down to about a minute 30, a minute 35. There we go. There's brimstone, poisons, more brimstone, more poisons, and boom goes the dynamite. A minute 37. So let's do one more run where I'll take off the food, right? Or I'll take off one of the food champions and we'll throw them back in, just to show you guys that it does actually work, even if you don't have an AI setup. I mean, I love this. I know it's going to take a little longer, but I think it's worth it, right? Being able to bring in those 3 extra champions to get ourselves some food is definitely going to be a big thing. I think with the build that I have from Mithrala, she could do it herself, but you're talking almost a 5-minute run. With this, sub minute and a half, 2 minutes, if anything, I mean, it's still really good, right? For some reason, I feel like Thor isn't using his abilities the way that he's supposed to. Also, remember, guys, I don't have mine fully booked, right? So if he was fully booked, this would probably be a lot faster. So here we go. 45 seconds to the boss. This was actually a little faster, right? The only thing here is we're not putting up enough poisons, which is why I like to turn off the A2, but it is what it is. So here we go. Hex is out. We get increased defense. Ideally, we want Thor to die as soon as possible. He's not dying. There we go. All right, so now it's just Mithrala going, doing what she's got to do, and then we're all good, right? This looks like it's probably going to be around the same, about a minute 38, a minute 50 maybe, but we have no danger of dying, which is phenomenal. I love it. I'm gonna start using this team. I know I usually run my triple G nut team, but yeah, I think like 140 is what we're looking at here, guys. Come on, one more turn. Boom, there we go. 140 on the dot. I was right on. So I love it. I love it. I love Thor. He's awesome. This 2-man team is made, it's phenomenal, and I hope that you guys are able to use this. That's it, guys. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you guys get Thor? Did you miss out on him? Because, oh my god. I'm just saying, best fusion 2024, hands down, he wins. It's just it, guys. It's just it. There's nothing else that's going to compare to him. That's it. If you guys got some time, swing by on Sunday 2 p.m. EST for the Knights of Teleria podcast, where we talk everything Raid Shadow Legends. We talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on this week with Plarium and the possible Wixwell nerf and stuff like that. We're going to dive a little more into it this weekend on the podcast, so make sure you don't miss out on that. And as always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other, and I'll catch you guys next time.